Welcome everyone. This is Tracy Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and today we're going to be talking about nurturing your relationship with nature spirits. So who are these nature spirits? Well, there's so many of them. I can't go through all of them today, but here are a few of them. Animals, insects and reptiles, including those in the sea, such as fish and whales and porpoises, starfish, sea anemones, and those including also the fantasy realm, like unicorns and fairies, pixies, mermaids, and gnomes. Also, Mother Nature, just all of nature spirits. Some people do call her Mother Nature, and in other civilizations and other traditions, then it could be any number of spirits that are connected with nature. Also, we can put into that category of nature spirits rocks and gems and stones, as well as the earth itself, plants, and some other unknown, maybe just a little more introverted characters as well. So where are they? Where are these nature spirits? Well, they're in nature. They're all over. We can find them in flowers and out in gardens. We can find them in our vegetable and flower gardens on our own property or elsewhere. We can find them in the forest, lots of forest nature spirits. We can find them by the water and in the water, in the hills and the valleys. We can find them in orchards and in fields everywhere. We can find them in our own backyard. You don't have to go far to find nature spirits. So how can we nurture that relationship that we have? Or maybe you'd like to nurture a new relationship with the nature spirits. One way is just by acknowledging them. Don't just acknowledge them when you see them, but acknowledge those that you don't see. Maybe the fairies and pixies, maybe just more greenery than what you are located around. Maybe you're not located around a forest, but just thinking about a forest and appreciating its presence. You can also make a small altar. Now, we're not worshiping these nature spirits. We're just coexisting and acknowledging their presence. It's not a religion necessarily, or something that you have to pray to or give your energy to. All you need to do is just put in a little altar for them, just like you would for a deceased family member or a pet, just something to remember them by. Just by, if you go to the ocean and you pick up a couple shells or a couple rocks or maybe some seaweed or something from the ocean, when you get back, you can just make a special place for that. And that is considered an altar, just a special place that you can remember these things by. Also, something that I started doing a while ago, I had heard Doreen Virtue talk about this before when she would go out and mow her lawn or pick the weeds or do anything like that. What I do is when I walk out the door, I just set my intention to go to the fairies and the gnomes and the pixies, the grass and everything that is around there, to the nature spirits, just letting them know I'm going to go out and trim the grass to keep it healthy. I'm going to go out and pick the weeds so that we can let the other plants grow healthy and strong. I would just let that intention go and just let them know that I'm going to be in their space, and if they'd like to help me or they would like to just kind of scamper away, then that's just fine, but that I would be in their space. And I really have appreciated not only letting them know and kind of grounding that intention just into the knowing that I'm going to be in their space, just actually realizing that it's not just my space, it's other people's and things' space that I'm going to be in, and I'm going to be occupying it for a while. So just letting that intention flow, it just gave me peace of mind that I wasn't intruding and I wasn't doing anything that was going to harm the environment or harm their homes or their own crops or fields. And it made me feel a lot better. So a lot of times, I'm sure I'm not the only one, I'm sure there's tons and tons of stories out there about what people being in nature, being in their garden, and just receiving such wonderful messages, even messages of, I'd prefer you not to pick that flower today, let it bloom where it is, or this strawberry is ripe, choose this one, or any number of messages, even messages for your daily life or career. It's amazing the messages that you can get from the nature spirits when you acknowledge them and you allow for those messages to come into your being. Also, we can give offerings. We can give offerings of fruits and vegetables, of seeds, just anything that would be helpful to the animals and to the other nature spirits that are around. Water is a great one, especially during summertime when it may be a little warm outside. If you can just find a small, shallow dish, put some rocks in the bottom so that you may have like different levels of depth for the insects and the birds and the squirrels and the other nature spirits that come to that area. Not only can they take a bath, but they can get a drink of water and they can go about their business. Also, a neat thing to do is to put out some fiber for the birds and the squirrels to make nests out of, and probably other nature spirits as well. What I like to do is take our golden retriever, since he has tons of fur, outside and I'll brush him. And even though I gather most of it up and throw it away, put it, in the recycling or the garbage, then the little fibers that are carried away actually can make themselves useful by being gathered up by animals so that they can make their nests and their homes out of. And so not only do I get to spend time with my dog and he gets to spend time with me, but I also get to help nurture the nature spirits environment as well. Also, when we bring in and harvest our fruits and vegetables from outside, we can be mindful of what we bring in. Now, if we know that we're not going to be bringing in a whole bunch, we can leave a few out for the nature spirits, or we can bring them in. And if we know that we're not going to be able to use them all, we can distribute them. We can give them to neighbors and friends and family. And this in and of itself is kind of doing the will of the nature spirits, because they do that themselves. They live in communities and they share. Also, if we propagate or we plant plants, this is actually helping the nature spirits as well. We're actually helping by propagating, by producing more plants, helping the environment and helping the nature spirits as well. Just by being in nature, just by acknowledging nature, and just by being grateful that we have the ability to have nature and the environment is just 110% of what they want. They just want us to acknowledge and appreciate the outdoors for all of its beauty. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you get out and enjoy the nature spirits on your own as well. And as always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.